The talk today is about reflections of life. As sunlight turns to moonlight, life and all things change. Life begins with the sunlight of hope within us, and without the understanding of the illusion of the life that surrounds us, and how it can end, possibly in darkness and even despair. Our job is to turn that darkness of night and despair into the moonlight and the reflections of the wonders of life. It is these reflections of life that can fill our mind's eyes and our memories of past experiences of love lost, love gained, past moments of happiness, past moments of sadness. These reflections that can fill the mind's eyes, these are simply reflections of life. In days past, we have come across others in trouble, others in pain, others in a state of suffering. And now our responses and our reactions to these happenings and to these occurrences and the memories of them can fill our reflective eyes. These too are reflections of our life, and they seem to have the ability to simply fill and activate mind seeds within us. Seeds of sadness, maybe even seeds of suffering, but also seeds of compassion, and maybe even anger that these seeds normally lay dormant within us, within our store consciousness. But they can rise up all at the same time. When they rise up, they manifest as an energy and become what we call a mental formation in the mind consciousness. The memories of these, rising at the same time, can cause confusion and stress. And now these reflections of life seem to fill the mind and can cause sorrow. So we look to take ourselves back to the comfort and the warmth of that place in the mindfulness of life, and understand that all the tears that we have shed, all those sensations of dying emotionally, when we take ourselves back to our home self, then these past pains, hurts and sufferings are simply just reflections of our life. And now, in the knowledge of the Dharma and the comfort of the Sangha, we can change, we can rearrange. In the knowledge that everything is impermanent, including our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. Then we now have the opportunity to live in a state of emotional contentment. As the sunlight of our lives turns to the moonlight of our years, in this moonlight we can dispel the darkness of the delusion of this outer world. Yes, this world can be a bad place sometimes, an unpleasant place to live in. But as our association with the temporary has grown, we have become too attached to this impermanent bag of bones and flesh. We have mistaken this vessel body to be our true self. And we have accepted this temporary physical condition to be final. This has come to us through our identification and attachment with material energy, physical body, sense pleasures, material possessions, ego, etc. Yes, this attachment to material energy can bring us temporary moments of pleasure. But these attachments can also rise and fill our memory eyes with sorrow and discontentment. In these reflections of life, we tend to forget our home self. We get caught up in the past and believe that the past is the past and that is that, and that it cannot be changed. This is not entirely accurate. If the reflections of your life, those painful moments of the past, turn to energy that are rising as mental formations in your mind consciousness, then they are not only bits of the past, bits of life lurking from the past in your mind. They also are in the now in your life. They're here with us in the now. The wonderful thing about them being in the now is that they can be dealt with using reflective awareness. Reflective awareness, understanding, and mindful energy. Mindfulness can also be dormant. It can be a dormant seed within us, within our stored consciousness. And through mindful practice, we can learn to activate it so it can rise as a mindful energy and up to encapsulate these negative emotions of the past. With this mindful energy, we can recognize and embrace these emotions, so to comprehend them and understand them. And this can start to bring relief. Mindfulness is also an energy that carries with it the energy of concentration. Wherever there is mindfulness, there is concentration. The more we practice mindfulness, the more powerful it becomes. The more powerful mindfulness becomes, the stronger concentration becomes. Mindfulness and concentration give us the ability to practice looking deeply. And from looking deeply comes insight. It is this insight that can liberate us and transform the darkness of negative reflections of the past into the moonlight of the now. With this insight, we have the knowing that in our younger years, we were inexperienced in life and we were unskillful in our actions. We can now realise that now is the time to change these memory reactions of the past. These memories that seem to cascade through our mind by realising that we are no longer the same person that we once were. With enormous amounts of useful exuberance and a serious lack of life skills. With this insight, we can come to realise these emotions are simply reflections of our lives. And in the warm embrace of the Dharma, these dark feelings, as with ripples emanating in a pond, these too shall fade away and pass.